Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 4 in the book of 1 Timothy. First of all, I am grateful to you who share these minutes of something that is so valuable, something you can't get back. What's that? It's 7 minutes of your day. I understand that this is valuable, and you choose to do the most valuable things with your time, whether that's work or eat or sleep. And here, in these 7 minutes, hopefully, to expose yourself to the Almighty. And I do not take for granted what is happening here each and every morning. And I am privileged to be with you today, to be a part of your day, and to be a part of your wonder today. Now, here's the caution from today, is not everybody does this right. We're going to find today in today's little story, Hymenaeus and Alexander, two people that do this wrong. In fact, they do the spiritual walk so wrong. Paul describes it with the ultimate in pictures and analogies for that culture is that they've made a shipwreck of their faith. They put themselves at particular peril. All right, so let's compare and contrast these two bad guys, and then Timothy is going to be the good example. So Paul's going to charge both of them. Timothy's going to hold on to it, and the Hymenaeus and Alexander are going to drop the ball and shipwreck themselves. Listen in. 1 Timothy chapter number 1, verse 18. Paul's talking. This charge I entrust to you, Timothy, my child, in accordance with the prophecies previously made about you, that by them you may wage the good warfare, holding faith and a good conscience. By rejecting this, some have made a shipwreck of their faith, among whom are Hymenaeus and Alexander, two different people, whom I have handed over to Satan, that they may learn not to blaspheme. Wow. All right, so the big point of today is not everybody does the spiritual walk right. And here we have this example of these two guys. And these two guys are a really good example of being a bad example. And some have made a shipwreck of their faith. They've put themselves at peril. They've dashed themselves on the rocks of spirituality, and they've caused themselves great harm, at least life-threatening harm, in this Mediterranean Sea culture. So put yourself back. So this is Paul's writing from Rome, probably, and all the churches are within, throwing stone distance of the Mediterranean Sea, and nothing could have the impact, and nothing could make the big lump in their throat as this picture of being shipwrecked. This is a catastrophe of the highest order for these people, and it should be for us too. So how does this happen? Nobody wakes up and says, hey, I'm going to make a shipwreck of my life. I'm going to put my soul at risk, or I'm going to make a series of dangerous decisions that are going to result in the peril of my soul. No one wakes up and says, I'm going to put myself at incredible hazard today. So how does this happen? Well, Timothy's kind of the good example, and Hymenaeus and Alexander are the bad examples. So Paul says, I entrust this. I give you this treasure. I entrust this to you. Paul is saying that to Timothy. And Timothy, you hold it. And Hymenaeus and Alexander, they reject it. They didn't just forget it. They reject it. So I did a little study of the Greek about this rejecting. By rejecting this, it means they pushed it aside. They thrust it away. They pushed back. They repelled it. They actively drove it back. So it's not a passive thing. What these guys did, the bad guys did, was an action. And it wasn't a passive action, it was an active action. And they had agency, and they had antagonism. So it's a very, a cautionary tale. They say at the end of this little section here, my life is a mess. And I wonder how that happened. Well, the question is, hey, were you entrusted? Yes. Were you given something valuable? Yes. Were you charged with something, precious and given a mandate? Yes. And in the spiritual walk, did you hold on? The holding on is the second most difficult thing in the world. That is, to charge these guys, hey, did you fight for it? Did you tenaciously hold on? Which is what Paul's telling Timothy. Did you wrestle for it? Did you think hard about this? Did you labor for it until you were tired? Did you connect with a bunch of knuckleheads in the church, which is sometimes hard? Did you find a way of escape of temptation? Did you bravely walk through this? Did you stay in fellowship? So what's the most difficult thing is to have opportunity to be entrusted with this treasure, possess the truth, and then have action, agency, and antagonism enough to shipwreck it yourself. So the natural consequence, Paul says to these guys, is, hey, I'm going to turn you over to Satan. I don't think you have to over-dramatize that. Where does Satan live? Well, it's 1 inch outside the church. So he puts these people outside the church. And it's not to be mean. It's out of it's like, okay, you want to play in the street? Let's go play. You can have a play in the street. It's putting them out of the protection of the church. Why? Just to be mean? No, that the Spirit may be saved in the day of the Lord. That's what it says in 1 Corinthians chapter 5:5 when he does a similar thing to another person. Okay, so here's the charge for today. Number one, this is a side note, is to love and honor and cherish the protection and provision of the church. It's used as is kind of the ultimate trump card here as far as helping these guys, Hymenaeus and Alexander, get back on track, back into the fold, unshipwreck your life. How did they do that? Ironically, by being put out of the church. All right. Secondly, let's do what Paul is asking Timothy to do, which is hold on, fight, deal with the temptation, do the hard things. You can do this. Be tenacious about this. And the cautionary tale here is don't make a shipwreck of yourself. Don't put yourself at risk. Don't put your soul at jeopardy. Don't create these moral hazards for yourself that you have actions and agency because of your antagonism. The charge today is stop shipwrecking yourself. Thanks for listening.